Welcome, everybody, to the Bravos Behavioral Health Clinic's group therapy session. I'm your host, Tom McQuaid. I'm joined today with a very special guest all the way from Missouri. Missouri, is that how you say it?
Uh,
Nicholas Davis. Say hello.
hey, hi.
I'm going to call you Nick. Little Nicky. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. I get called that all the time.
I bet you do. You kind of have that accent, too, so it makes sense. I'm going to call you Dale because that's what I like to refer to you as. But
All right.
that's a
Whatever
different.
makes you happy.
But me and Nick have become pretty decent friends over the last few years, just on virtual internets. Never even met in real life, but I actually consider him a friend. I'm glad that you can join me, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate those words.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about some Game of Thrones. This last episode was called Last of the Starks. It started with a great funeral scene. You remember the funeral scene, bud?
Yeah, I do. I remember they didn't give us a very wide shot of it. I remember that.
Yeah, I agree. They didn't really give us the scope of the bodies. Like you think there'd be a lot more bodies. I mean, there was. They had them piled up in neat little sections, but a war of that magnitude, I'd have to think that 20, 30, 40,000 people had to have perished.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with war too. You want to know how many people you lose. I don't think they did a good job of showing how many casualties because it looked like they lost everybody at the end of the other episode with all the
Right.
zombies.
Yeah, I mean, the Dothraki flame goes out. I mean, they say in the books they're saying that it was 100,000 before they came across. The horde was over 100,000 deep. So I mean, anyway, all right, let's not backtrack into the last episode. Let's try to stick with this one. But
Yeah.
the funeral was pretty airy. One thing I did notice was Jon Snow is he really he had a different tone to him. The way he
hmm
spoke and everything.
Yeah, it sounded like he had a different kind of accent going on.
Yeah, kind of almost. I'd say I'd liken it to like a Ned Stark. I heard you say something about maybe like more Targaryen like earlier. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, yeah. Very. I don't know how to describe it. He was kingly, I guess you'd say, right?
Right. Yeah. That's a very regal almost, if you will. It's a good word, kingly.
And it struck me as weird because I was talking to you earlier. The accents are selected for a reason on the show, right? So the
Okay.
people from the north have more of a fuck, I can't remember what it is, but it's like a northern English kind of accent.
Right.
Like Ned Stark's character, the guy that played him, he has it. But the people from King's Landing have more of like a Londoner accent.
Yeah, I guess what was it called? I did hear someone actually breaking that down. I guess it's like kind of what Aussie was is the northern. It's like more
Yeah,
slang, I guess. It's more you know,
I guess it'd be like the equivalent of what my accent is
yeah, slack
towards,
jaw, exactly.
yeah, some kind of a backwoods kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I love your accent though. You kind of got the what's the oh man, I was just thinking about it, but anyway, we'll get back to that. So the funeral, we kicked off with the funeral, and then it quickly turned into a party. They were enjoying their spoils of victory. You seen,
Like the party was a very different kind of mood too, real different than the rest.
and I think everything is important at this point. Every line, every scene, every body language.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It was different because it was fun. It was real fun, right? And then you seen the weird stuff start to happen where Danny noticed all the people hanging all over John and really loving him, and then you seen Varys in the background, and that's like
Being
whoa,
sneaky.
yeah, because we haven't seen him in a couple seasons now. I mean, he's just been here and there, so to
They had,
see him get to
they,
work was kind of exciting for me because he's one of my favorite characters.
yeah, I like Viserys too.
Yeah, Viserys
They
is
don't
great.
get to use him that much though. With these later things, it's all been this combat kind of shit.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah, he's the whisperer. So, what do you think? You think he's going to play a big role in these next two episodes?
I think he will. Yeah, because he's already he's made his intentions known, right? He's not against tyrants. He's going to serve the realm,
Right, at
which
any
is weird
cost,
because
right? Yeah.
he's not even from Westeros. You know, he's
Right,
a
he's not. He's not. He's
Essos
from
or something.
Essos. Yep, you're right about that. You hit the nail on the head. But that's kind of like, I think immigrants that come to America have a better respect for what America is because they were living something else, and I think that's where his embodiment of that character comes from. I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but you
Well, yeah,
know,
I see that
you
because
know,
he can put the dream of a new life, form it around that, right? It's a lot different
right,
than being born here.
right, and I've had the honor, I guess I should call it. I mean, and I mean that with respect of my best friend John Cochran's wife Ivana. She's an immigrant. She came with her parents from Croatia, and her family has a tremendous respect for what this country is. Because they know
Mm.
how bad it can be. They lived in a
Oh yeah.
Civil War torn area. Um, a beautiful place, but back then in the 80s, it was bad. It was very bad, and so when you have that respect of coming from something like that to where you can live free in America, I think you have just a different opinion. And I think that he embodies that. I really do. I think that he embodies how exactly. I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people I think miss that point, and that's why I'm kind of keep going on about it because I think he's
Mm.
one great character. But in that party, I mean, you see a lot of good scenes like Tom Giants Bane, Tim and Tom
Tormund.
Tormund Giants Bane. I mean, he stole the show, man. He had some great comic relief. Do you agree? I mean, it was
He's always
fantastic.
funny. He's
And
always got them crazy ass stories too.
right, and then poor him. He got
Mm.
his heart broke. His fucking. Well, we'll get to that in a little bit, but we'll come back to
Yeah.
him getting his heart broke. Um, but
I think
you
I
know,
think the thing from I don't mean to break your flow a little bit,
go
but
ahead.
the feeling of that scene was so different too. Like you see this in books or in movies where they'll have so much seriousness where the viewer or the audience will get desensitized to it, right?
Right.
So they'll throw in something real nice and fun that will break that to get you ready for something else, so it hits harder. And I think that's what was going on.
Yeah.
It's their last chance to have fun.
Well, I think it was important too because you seen pre-battle, you had everybody getting serious and saying their goodbyes, and you know Brienne getting knighted. You had a lot of those great scenes, so
Yeah,
they were real nervous. You seen it, you seen that scene, and I thought that was something they hadn't done before, which I thought was a great you know it gave
yeah.
you a
You
good feeling. I think it wrapped it up good, and then the battle, which was amazing, and now you're having the after party. You're the funeral. You mourned, and now you're going to celebrate because you just looked death in the face and won. I think it was very important to have that scene to where everybody can celebrate. And maybe
yeah,
let
yeah.
their guard down because there's a lot going on, and being able to just blow off steam for one night, it's a great, you got to
Well, they
enjoy
were
the
almost
spoils.
like they were equals too, right? You just survived this whole thing. You bonded in this whole event, right?
Right,
So they could let their hair down. They could be not so formal. Like when all them troops are coming in, getting ready for the battle, it was John's at the table. There's the Dragon Queen.
right.
Bow, kneel, offer your sword, all this bullshit. Now they're drinking and listening to Tormund stories and having Starbucks and all this crazy shit.
Yeah, the Starbucks cup, and you got Tormund spilling his beers, mead all over the place, and hugging people, and then he gets his heart broken because Jamie takes Brienne. They're playing drinking games. They're playing question drinking games, and you find out
Yeah.
Brienne was a virgin. I mean,
Uh-oh.
obviously she was a virgin. I mean, look at her. She's
Mm-hmm.
she's a fucking giant. I mean, I would have slayed that giant, but I'm just saying.
You'd have
She
to beat her up first.
so
That's how
she,
she.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can. 'Cause that bitch was bad, but
She knows that it's a full sword. That's it.
yeah. But I mean, you think she'd be a lesbian as good as she was, but anyway. Um,
Yeah.
so you had that. Then poor Tormund. He gets his heart broke, and then he takes those two girls off, and
He got over her
real quick,
fast, though,
real
didn't he?
quick, huh? He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna fuck both of these girls. But but then he takes the wildlings back, and at first I was like, man, that's fucked up. But then the agreement wasn't for him to come fight for the Seven Kingdoms. It was
Yeah.
to fight against the White Walkers and to save humanity, and they did that. And I think that's why John kind of let him go, and then he straight
Well, he had a good justification too. He's
yeah,
saying that it's nice here, but it's not home,
right,
which I really like that.
right. And that's when John ghosted Ghost.
Got rid of that fucker.
He's like, "Hey, get
Take the old dog.
He's like, I know I adopted this puppy and I raised him right, but my new wife, she don't like dogs. She's into dragons, so
Them lizards.
that's fucked up, though. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, he was a good boy.
we didn't see him for how long? You seen him for 30 seconds. He's missing a fucking ear,
I noticed that too.
and then he's gone.
Give
He's
yours
just
off.
gone. He's ghosted. He ghosted
He's
Ghost,
expensive to have on camera though. I
and
hear.
you know, so what? You know, and then so then you have the planning scene. All right, so there's a
Well, yeah,
lot that happened. You kind of want to take this real quick?
I know the thing that stuck out to me was Sansa is still not on board with the Daenerys pain train.
Right, right, right. Well, uh, I don't know if she's man. There's so much, you know. And then the whole. So I guess we should get into the everybody knowing now too. That was a big plot. That was a big part of the whole episode. Was Ned Stark kept this damn secret for fucking 20 years, and
This
then
bitch is gonna keep it for
these
2 minutes.
snitching ass Starks. These fucking Starks are a bunch of snitches, dude. Fucking Bran snitching ass Bran. He's like, you could tell him it's up to you. You know what I mean? Like some passive aggressive bullshit. Like now he
I
got to
know.
say it, right? You can't just
There's,
but like, oh, it's up to you to tell him if you want. You know, like, you snitch, motherfucker. This fucking snitch, dude. He would
and then he
never
told him,
last in my hood.
and then he's like, Bran, tell him. He's
Yeah, he's
John fucked his ass.
yeah, right. He's like, so, and then these snitching ass fucking Starks, like, just like that. Now the whole goddamn realm knows. He just told Viserys. Viserys gonna tell everybody. So,
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ, it went from fucking nobody knowing to the entire realm knowing in a fucking episode, man. So now
Oh, yeah.
there's that tension. Is it gonna be, is Danny and John gonna beef now because he has a real fucking claim and she's seen him how the Northerners love him, but nobody actually really loved her the way that they love him. But which is bullshit, I guess, because remember everybody was calling her mother. Like he freed all these
Well,
slaves.
that was over in Essos too,
Yeah.
though, right?
Yeah, I guess she's
She's
never
what-
felt that here in Westeros.
In
where-
Westeros. I think
where-
she even said that.
Yeah, yeah, I think she did too. Right, you're right. And and she's feeling some kind of way about that. So is there going to be beef there? There's 2 episodes. How is there only 2 episodes? This is depressing, man. I've been watching this shit since day one, and we only got 2 more episodes, dog.
I don't know.
That sucks.
Can you look forward to Walking Dead? It sucks now.
I know Walking Dead sucks. I mean, I don't even know why I still watch it. This season was better than the last 2 or 3, but that ain't saying
Yeah.
much. The Fear the Walking Dead is really good though. I like that show. I don't know if you ever watched it.
I'm not really into spin-offs, so I've been avoiding it.
Really? Well, I suggest you watch it. I think they did a better job, honestly. And then, you'll like it. I promise. I don't know too many people that don't. So, and I can't get enough zombie shit. Every zombie thing I watch, any type of it's not even zombie. It's like apocalyptic, end of days.
Yeah. In a world
anything
kind of
like
shit.
that. Yeah, Mad Max, all that shit. I'm totally into all that. All right, but
So-
back to this
Yeah,
other
yeah.
realm.
So why do you think Sansa is so against her?
So why is it Sansa?
Sansa?
It's Sansa.
Yeah, well, it's spelled Sansa, but Ned Stark I'm fucked up. Ned Stark called her Sansa.
Oh, okay, all right.
He
I
put that ER on it. That's part of his accent, so it's a habit.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just a Missouri,
No, it's definitely Sansa.
a Missouri thing.
Missouri.
You got a hem.
I think I'm part of the people that call it Missouri.
You know who you sound like? You sound like Jesus.
An
Christ.
asshole?
No. You sound like Jesus. He's on Rogan's all the time. He's the one of the archery dudes. He's the dude with the Meat Eater podcast. Meat Eater, not Remy Warren.
Which one's the bow guy?
Not Cam Haines. He's a bow guy. He's Not Adam Greentree. Why can't I think of his name? Meat Eater. Fuck, man. Tom, come on.
I don't know.
Lou's yelling at me right now. But anyway, you sound like him. So it's gonna come to me. I know it. But anyway, let's. Yeah,
Sanser, right?
Sanser.
Sanser.
That shit is funny to me. So, Steve Ranella. That's what it is. Steve Ranella. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's really smart. So then you
Why
go
is
to
she so pissed at the Dragon Lady?
what's that?
Sanser. Why? I
Well,
may have missed
I
something.
think it's a turf thing. You know,
Lady
John.
Turf.
Okay, so what happened was, John was selected the king. He was a Stark, and then John bent the knee to her, and she doesn't think
Oh
that she should
yeah.
be bending the knee to anybody because they're the rightful, of the
Oh
North
yeah.
and all that. So, and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you
And she
know.
went through all that shit too with Ramsey, so I
And,
guess
and,
she
and
is
yeah, and she doesn't trust people naturally. Like, look at
right.
all she's
Yeah.
been through. I mean, I used to hate her character, and now I hope she wins. I really do.
I
She's
still
been
don't
through
like her.
so much. I mean, I really hated her. Like, I loved Joffrey. I thought Joffrey was one of the
Oh,
best
he's such a
cancers.
good villain.
Yeah, he was. He was great. He was amazing.
He's just
And
a little
and
asshole.
and I was like, and he kind of made me hate her because of that. And then when when she got caught by Ramsey, that shit kind of made me depressed. And I was like, man, this is kind of fucked up. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's yeah, that's why I think she just has trust issues, and then she doesn't think John should be bending the knee, because he should be the king. Well, he really should be the king now, and
Mm.
I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen with that. But yeah, the planning stage is basically Daenerys was gonna go and take the
The water
navy,
route.
yeah, the water route, the navy, um, and
John was
John
doing the
was
land
yeah, and
forces.
John was taking the land forces. So we had the ambush. I know you were saying some things about that earlier. It's kind of like bullshit. How couldn't they see it? How couldn't I? Before even that, like, how does and this is why I think that Viserys is working his shit because like he doesn't tell him about that. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't know that they're mounting all these fucking scorpions on their ships
Oh yeah.
and all over
Well, he knows.
yeah.
You know what
So
I think is the problem
why didn't
is.
that info get to her? So like I'm skeptical hippo eyes looking at that like I think he might be working both sides. Does he really
Skeptical
want
Hippo.
John? Does he not like Danny? Is there a reason? You know what I mean? There's all
Mm.
kinds of shit. And there's only 2 episodes. So how could they still be building shit, right? I don't get it. It's so
And I got
crazy.
some personal theories on that one. Like, I think the problem is Daenerys.
Okay.
She is so laser focused in on what she wants to do. She doesn't let other people come in like that. Like Viserys, he could have said that to her. It could have been an off-camera thing, and she just whatever, right? Blew him off.
And she hasn't been using him as counsel all that much either.
No, she
You
probably don't
know?
trust him
Yeah, and
because he's
like
part of the old guard, right?
right,
He's from
right,
Cersei's camp.
right. So I think
And
that there's a little
the
bit of
thing with
competition between them two because he's
oh yeah,
not as used as as his predecessors or even Tyrion. Tyrion's been shitting his bed
he
as
looked
an
impressed.
advisor. This fucking how he like asking. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. But like we'll go to Miss Sandy. Like so, the ambush happens, and boom, a dragon gets killed. Right.
Straight up.
So everybody's like, "Oh, how are they gonna do it? How are they gonna, how they can't kill those scorpions? Didn't work. Well, they made them bigger, and they made a shit ton of them. And if you hit them in the vitals, just like I said, and it took one in the neck, boom, boom, and out go the lights. So
Well, the thing too that people were saying is like, oh, they should have been scouting ahead, doing this and that. And I'm like,
right, they should have
where do you think what part of the show has told you that Daenerys knows anything about
right
air combat?
any type of combat, right?
Her
I think
tactics are
I think
burning people that don't resist and
they just lost their
strafing
best general.
lies.
Jamie rode off. So
Oh yeah, he's a
Yeah,
bad man.
Brienne and Jamie hook up, and Jamie leaves, and he's going back to that golden snatch of his, and You
He's
know,
hateful, is what he said.
fuck, going back to the sexiest, most powerful gangster ass woman in the world. I
I liked
love
her with the long hair
Cersei.
better.
I love her, Cersei. I don't give a fuck. I do like the longer hair better. Won't lie, but oh god, she's so sexy. God damn, so mean and I love it. Boss me around, baby.
Oh, you're like Euron Greyjoy there.
So, oh yeah, I could be Yorn. I'd love to be him. She could Yorn on me.
How do you think he's going to react when she spits out that baby in a couple months? And he's doing the math. Like, wait a minute.
I think he kind of figured it out here, but so so yeah, so we had Brienne out there begging. Had him out there in a house coat begging like a basic ass bitch to come back, and he's like, "Nah, bitch, I already climbed that fucking castle or those castle walls. I'm going somewhere else."
She went with Tormund.
Yeah, exactly. She fucking. That's why I wanted to talk about. She fucking chose the pretty fucking handsome one night stand. She got blown off, and she could be having these gigantic, world beating, giant ass babies. Imagine those babies. They would just come out with like swinging. They'd come out with two axes.
Like Amazons.
Oh my god, they would make the best babies.
But this says a lot about her character too, though, right? She chose what she knew over the unknown.
Right. You know.
So she's kind of a conservative in mindset. She's like keeps herself guarded in that way.
Right. And she was a fucking virgin up until now. I mean, I'm sure there was other dudes that she could have fucking betted, you know. All you gotta, you know.
Probably lesbian now. Jamie curved her hard.
Curved the shit out of her. Okay, so that happens. He goes back. The ambush happens. They capture Miss Sandy.
Yeah.
So Miss Sandy is out there, and they line up. And they go to King's Landing. They made it there pretty fucking quick, by the way.
They teleported that shit. It takes a couple months to get down there normally.
That's that Westeros fucking time jump shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
What do you think of those fortifications on the city now?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, I mean, they fortified the shit out of it, and on top of that, they put those fucking goddamn scorpions everywhere. So even if you do want to come from any direction, you're gonna get fucking, you're gonna get shot up. So
yeah,
they're
gonna need like siege equipment or something to break those.
Right, and it's the only, and they're you've seen them blowing the ships apart. So even siege equipment, it's gonna just destroy troops if you're lined up in formation. I mean, that was going right through those ships, which was kind of bullshit too, but whatever. I like it. I mean,
it's like cannonball tech.
Right. It really was. It was like heavy artillery before artillery, which was cool. So ambush happens, and then we got Tyrion out there babbling like, "Do it for your baby." What the fuck? We're talking about Cersei, the most evil bitch on the planet, the most gangster. She blew up the motherfucking church with all of her enemies in it, dog. It was the greatest thing I ever seen, ever. I love her. I love her so much. Oh my god, I love her. I hope she wins. So bad.
Yeah, she's convinced she's going to win. She didn't listen to Tyrion. Why didn't she shoot Tyrion, though? I was really worried for him.
Right. I thought for sure I just had the feeling he was dying that episode. I really did the whole time whenever he was, doing his whole thing, going and trying to make deals, wheeling and dealing, and he with Clyburn. Is that his name, Clyburn? The other fucking...
Clyburn with a Q.
Yeah, Clyburn. Okay, so he meets up with him. He's like, "You could kindly shit in your fucking hat." And he's like, "But please, sir, I don't want to do this." So Cersei is brilliant, right? This is why she's brilliant. She's like, the only thing they have is a motherfucking dragon. I got 2 dragons at the time. So I'm going to bring everybody in because she doesn't want to make herself look bad and burn all the fucking citizens with it. She'll end up looking like the mad king, and there'll be revolts, and her reign wouldn't last long even if she does do it. So she brings everybody in, because...
That might be her plan, though, right?
She might... Very brilliant. And then...
Well, like, if she don't survive.
And then she captures Miss Sandy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Her best friend, one of her loyal fucking... assistants, and
Fucking
You
killed her
know,
on Bartertown walls. That shit looked like Bartertown from
didn't she
fucking
teach her how
Mad
to
Max.
fuck too? Didn't she teach her how to fuck? I'm pretty sure. Was that her? I'm pretty
Nah,
sure.
that was that other hooker they locked up in the vault
Oh,
with that fat guy.
oh yeah, you right. Yeah, that was a while back. But anywho, so you have her, kills her best friend. You have the mountain come off with her head. Pow.
I thought he was gonna cut her in half at
Now
the waist.
you got Cersei, who's about to be the Mad Queen. It looks like, she lost her dragon. She got one dragon now. She's down
Uh-huh.
three. She's down from 3 to 1. She just lost her best friend. She,
She's pissed.
she's worried about John being the fucking real heir to the throne. She's worried about all of her people in her cabinet, so to speak, running behind her back. You know, um,
Oh man.
is she gonna burn the fucking King's Landing? Is she gonna burn? So,
Oh yeah. She's gonna try.
I
I don't know
mean,
about the ballistas. She might have plot armor that protects her long enough to burn some people.
yeah, ballistas. That's the word. That's a good word. Um, so I don't know. It's man. So what do you think's
What?
gonna happen from here? I mean, because that's where we're at. What happens next?
Oh boy. I'm thinking she's gonna try to attack the city. One of two things will happen. They'll shoot her dragon down, and it just ends. Or she manages to kill Cersei, then finds out Viserys has been telling everybody about Fuckhead
Fuck,
being like the real. And then she has to fight him. They're
Johnny
gonna have like
Cocaine?
Johnny Cocaine, Johnny Snowballs.
Is that you called him? I love
Yeah.
that.
So then she's gonna be like, "Oh, Johnny Cocaine he's making a move, and they're gonna end up fighting each other, and then everyone's gonna die. No one's gonna sit on that throne.
Nobody.
No, it's cursed. No one's sitting on that shit. No, everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
It's the death spiral, man.
Well, I think two things. I called it preseason, before this season started. First off, I just want to say that it looks like the producers, the D&D, the double D's, David Bischoff or whoever the fuck, Benoff and Benoit, whatever. I can't think.
D.B. Weiss or something.
Yeah, well, Weiss and Benoit or whatever it is.
Benioff.
Benioff, yeah. Well, the
Benihana's.
double D's were I heard somebody else call them that, and I thought it was funny. Anyway,
I thought they were talking
they
about
want
Dungeons and Dragons.
they want this shit to be over with. You know what I mean? Like, it's why you have the last 2 seasons. I mean, they really could have made this something special, in my opinion. In the last
Yeah.
2 seasons, it was 13 episodes total. If you would have did 20, I really think you could have wrapped this shit up nicely. You wouldn't have had to rush through the Night King. Like, after all that, and the Night King episode, it's gone in one time. It's gone, just like that. I
Popped
mean,
him like a tire.
and like, what's up with Bran? If
He's useless.
he's useless. Snitching ass Bran's it's the worst fucking character ever, dude. He's the worst character ever. Like,
They're like,
as much
when they
as I
don't know
love
what to
this
do with
show, it's that, like, it's a useless fucking character. Either that,
Yeah.
or Martin was supposed to do more with them. I mean, I don't know. It
They
just
got Martin's
seems-
rough draft.
Yeah, I don't
That's what
even.
they're working on.
Is that what they're working on?
He's giving them the rough draft and how he thinks it's going to end, but like motherfucking books change as you're writing them.
He ain't ever gonna finish him. What a fucking schmuck.
He's going to die.
What an asshole.
His Facebook page, man, people were pissed every time he posts something like, "I'm doing some turtle racing and I'm collecting, I'm washing my underwear and changing the paper in this inkjet, so I'll be ready to write in 2 days." People
I'm
are like,
at
"Fuck you,
I'm at the
fuck."
Monaco.
Yeah. And now, like, all the people have left. It's just positive stuff. It's these diehard folks that really think he's going to finish them.
I
don't
hope
think-
so. I mean, I do, but he's writing other shit now. He's writing that Targaryens and shit. Like,
A history book. It's
Yeah.
a big, thick history book.
it's retarded. But
I think he's burnt out. I think that's what it is. He's burnt out on it. He's been doing them since the 90s. He's been writing these books since
Yeah,
like
well,
92.
he couldn't have finished this shit. I mean, I really want to know the ending. I want to know his ending. I don't really, and that's what's fucking me up. I want to know his ending, because it's going to be so much better than what these 13 episodes in the last 2 seasons. I really
yeah.
feel like they shortchanged us. I mean,
Well, they did it with, like, they have characters they don't know what to do with because only he could do shit with them, like Peter Baelish,
200
right?
256 fucking characters, That's
Well, Peter
crazy,
Baelish
man.
was one of them. He was a cool guy until
Right,
they went off script, and he's
right,
like fucking killing.
right.
Tyrion, he's really clever. It's hard to write his shit. So he's
In the
just like this.
last, yeah, in the last the season, he sucked because
Sucks.
it's not, Martin's writing. It's, whoever's.
Yeah, that Bran is another victim of it.
He horrible, worst
He's
fucking
horrible.
character ever. The only character I think was, I used to think that, you ever watch Breaking Bad?
No, never
It's
seen it.
the son in Breaking Bad. He has like cerebral palsy or some shit, and the kid does a really good job because I thought he was really retarded, but he's not. He wasn't, So he did a really good job acting, but he was the worst character ever. Like it was stupid. It was the horror. It was, and Bran by far is the worst fucking character ever.
He
He
frustrates
should have
you.
just kept in the fucking coma. He'd have been better off just being in a coma for fucking 10 years. That's his. It would have been. It would have been a more interesting character.
They haul him right. It's the same shit too. If he's in a coma, he'd still be in that fucking chair. They'd be pushing
He
him around.
fucked over Hodor, little bastard. Fucking
Hard
bastard.
fucking.
You fucker. I thought we were going to see Hodor as a goddamn walker, too.
I did too.
I was
waiting
looking
for
so
it.
hard. I love
They made it dark,
Yeah.
so you couldn't see.
Well, I liked what they did with it. So I've enjoyed every episode. I thought, last episode was great, but I think the second episode of the year, I think was one of the best episodes of the series. It was tremendous, man. It really
Yeah,
was.
it's been really good.
Yeah, I have to say it. It's been good, but like we only got 2 left, and that's fucking depressing, man.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking about that today.
I wish we would have started doing this podcast 2 years ago. Be honest. I mean,
Get some more material.
like I don't even care. Like honestly, if 3 people listen to this, I don't care. I just had fun talking to you we're at a half an hour right now. I had fun. So even if nobody listens to this fucking thing, I still had fun. So,
Yeah, it's been fun.
yeah. I mean, I enjoy really talking about this shit and like, giving predictions and, like, okay, so my predictions were from the beginning of the season, I said Cersei was going to win. That's my number one choice. I love her. I'd have her, babies. She can impregnate me. I don't care. She's so fucking hot. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just happen to think that she probably has perfect feet too. Just probably perfect feet.
Fucking feet.
Yeah, man, perfect. I thought you'd get a lot. Anyways, yeah, so Cersei would be my number one, and my number 2 was that Sansa takes it, and Sansa takes it because she got Arya to kill everybody else, and then I did call that she was going to kill the Night King, but I thought she was going to wear a White Walker face. I thought she was going to look like a Walker, or she was going to. I said she was either going to do that or she was going to be Bran. So when he was coming up, I thought she was going to be Bran. Yeah, because fuck.
That would have been real good.
But
that's how they knew that it was the real Bran, because he did that warging shit where he was like running around.
Right.
The dudes can see that. They're like, I don't know, they're connected somehow. He knew it was the real Bran, so I don't think that would have worked.
So and then once I understood more about how that worked, because it was so convoluted, like.
Well, it's just they're so goddamn boring. You don't pay attention to them.
Yeah, he's the worst. I'm so glad he got pushed out of the fucking window. What an idiot. Fucking stupid.
It could cause us trouble all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
like the best candidate for the throne, right? The best one to win would be Jon. But if you look at how their shows worked historically, the best candidates always get killed.
Right, and
like
that's
Rob Stark was one of them.
Exactly, Rob. I mean, Ned, fucking Ned, dude. So like the beginning, since I've been watching since day one. I watched the first episode. I was into Lord of the Rings pretty heavy, so I was like, this reminds me of that. They were like Braveheart and Lord of the Rings. That was kind of like their pitch, you know what I mean? And I loved, Braveheart's like the greatest movie ever, and Lord of the Rings is great too. So I was in, right? And then, they just kept glancing over battles because, like, if you really
didn't have the funds for it.
If you really, well, I don't even think that. It's like even if you look at the battles in the books, they glance over them too because I don't think Martin could write for the battles. He was good at the one-on-one stuff, like the Oberyn mountain fight was just tremendous. You know what I mean?
Oh, I loved it.
And
I hated it and I loved it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and but he wasn't good at the whole, going writing for the battles. So he would skip over it, even in the books. And so I was into those giant epic war fucking, battle scenes, Lord of the Rings scenes, and Braveheart. Just love those epic battles. And they just kept skipping over it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it to the end of the season. If they don't have a fucking battle that I see, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to keep watching it. And
they didn't.
And then they chopped Ned Stark's head off. And I fucking jumped out of my seat and was screaming, oh my God! Oh my God! They fucking killed him! Holy shit. I've never seen the protagonist get killed
like that.
and get killed off in the first season. Not even at the end of it. There was another episode. I was like, he was a
featured character in the book.
That's what he was the protagonist. He was the motherfucking the main character, and he got killed. I was like, what? So right then and there, I knew this show was going to be special. That never happens. This show was going to be very special. And I've been hooked ever since, man. It was ever since Ned lost his head, I've been fucking hooked, man. But it's been fun. We're at 36 minutes. I'm gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah.
So my prediction is Sansa or Cersei, and yours were?
I'd like to see Jon on it, but I don't think anyone's gonna sit on that fucker.
You don't think
they're all gonna end up?
Yeah.
I think they're all going to end up killing each other, or the place gets destroyed.
So, okay. What about Gendry? That kind of was cool, too. We didn't speak on that. Gendry getting that. And then we forgot to talk about Bronn. Does Bronn really kill them? Does Arya fucking kill Jaime and then take his face and kill fucking Cersei? I mean, that'd be pretty cool, right? Or
an
overuse
of her.
Yeah. I think they can't overuse her. But, yeah, man, it's been fun. Maybe we'll do the next one together. Maybe I'll try to get somebody else. I'm not sure how it's going to work. This was I just kind of asked you. It was spur of the moment, and it fucking worked out pretty cool, man. So, all right, man, that's it. Thank you on behalf of Nicholas Davis. I'm Tom McQuaid, and this was Group Therapy from the Bravos Behavioral Health Clinic.
See you all later.
Bye.